Hi and welcome, I hope welcome back to Play It Loud. I'm going to pick up on something I started a while ago, Off the Beaten Track. There are some great tracks on some often very good albums, sometimes not so good albums, that seem to get overlooked. You don't hear them on the Capitol Golds, the smooth radios, the boom radios. They seem to have largely disappeared. I'm going to cut it there and cut straight to the quick. I've got a few here that I would highly recommend to you. And I'm going to start with a couple of CDs. You may not have heard of Joe Ely. He was fairly well known in the 70s, early 80s, American. Didn't make it big over here, but this, a best of, highly recommended. But for those of you who stream, you want to make a list, can I recommend She Only Spoke Spanish to Me and a track called Dallas. Have you ever seen Dallas from a DC-9 at midnight? This guy could write some songs, so recommended. The second one I'd like to pick up, this is a little more difficult to get hold of. I'm assuming that you can stream the track that I'm looking at, because this Rosanne Cash CD has bonus tracks on it which are not on the standard CD. And the track that I'm particularly keen on is one of those bonus tracks. It's a track called Biloxi. And it's been recorded by, well, lots of people, some of whom you would know, but I didn't get the list out. It's not pertinent. Rosanne Cash's version of Biloxi from the album The River and the Thread is lovely. And in the summer, it's particularly pertinent. Highly recommended. Please, go for it. Okay. A few LPs, not many. Where do we start? Van Morrison. Love Van Morrison. Seen him, I don't know, half a dozen times, perhaps more. And a bit like Dylan, he can have a really great night and a night when you think, I'm not sure why I bothered to came, because that's how he seems to feel. But when he's good, he's brilliant. And this particular album, Hymns to the Silence, I think gets overlooked. People know Moondance, people know the album with Domino, people know that lately he's been in some controversy over his political views. Go back to Hymns to the Silence and pick up the title track. This is a very, very good double album, highly recommended on its own. But yeah, play Hymns to the Silence. You might be surprised. If you're a Van Morrison fan, I hope you've already got it, and if you're not, give it a whirl. I think it's up there with Moondance. Okay, moving on. Not the best known Byrds album by a country mile. Dr. Byrds and Mr. Hyde. Bit of a between album, not quite rock, not quite country, and it didn't do very well at the time, and I think there's a reason for that. I'm a great Byrds fan, so I like it, but would I recommend it to somebody who's not a Byrds fan? No, probably not. What I'm going to point you in the direction of here is a track called Bad Night at the Whiskey. It was released as a single. Don't think it did anything, not in this country anyway. Might have done in America. I'm not one to double check Google or the internet to find out these things before I go online. It's just a track that stands out. And it doesn't always appear on Byrds' greatest hits albums or on the best of the Byrds. It's on the essential albums, but no, it's missing. So, Bad Night at the Whiskey from Dr. Byrd and Mr. Hyde. Give it a listen. Something that perhaps most of you will know but I'm going to bring it up anyway. I think everyone's heard this album, everyone of my age anyway. Fleetwood Mac, probably their best known album, Rumours. But the tracks that everybody plays, The Chain, Dreams, where are we getting up to? There's a lot of tracks on here that were singles and we did very well. But I'm going to go back to Never Going Back Again, which is, if it's Fleetwood Mac, okay, but it's really Lindsey Buckingham. It's his solo track. Fabulous guitar playing, highly recommended. Not going to go on about it, guess a lot of you already know. But if you haven't heard it for a while, pick it up again. Finally, for this version, this episode of, where are we now? Picking up the tracks. Jackson Browne. Love Jackson Browne, very, very talented musician. Sure you know, he wrote Take It Easy, kicked the Byrds' career off, and numerous tracks covered by numerous artists, particularly in the 70s and early 80s, but he's still making really good music. This album, however, tends to get overlooked. I rarely see it, not sure if it's still available. It's a lovely album. Lawyers in Love is a lovely track. Well, what I'm going to point you to here is Tender Is the Night. Lovely riff, really clever riff, beautiful recording, excellent track. Jackson Browne at his best. So, wrapping up this particular video, Play It Loud, or any of the tracks that I've just been through. If you'd like to subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good time. Cheers.